Выстрел! Выстрел! Выстрел!
Не заряжен. Смотри, второй заряд.
Принял тебя. Установкам. Один огонь.
Готов. Готов.
Давай.
Выстрел! Выстрел!
Один ушел. Давай.
Выстрел!
Быстрее отработать. Все, наведен заряд, готов.
Report by Press Center Chief of Yug Group of Forces. Units of the Yug Group of Forces successfully repelled 13 attacks launched by assault detachments of the AFU 42nd Mechanized Brigade, 79th Air Assault Brigade, 81st Airmobile Brigade, and 112th Territorial Defense Brigade near Bogdanovka, Georgievka, and Belogorovka. The group's units supported by aviation and artillery took more advantageous lines and positions. The AFU losses in Donetsk direction amounted to up to 240 Ukrainian troops killed and wounded. The group's ATGM crews, loitering munitions, and artillery wiped out 1 tank, 3 motor vehicles, and 2 artillery ammunition field depots. In the course of counter-battery warfare, 2 U.S. made 155mm M777 howitzers and 1 152mm D-20 howitzer were neutralized. Mi-28 crews delivered rocket strikes at the enemy command post and hardware in Donetsk direction. A forward air controller confirmed target engagement. Report by Press Center Senior Officer of Zapad Group of Forces. Units of the Zapad Group of Forces continue to perform tasks in Kupiansk direction. The group's motorized rifle units supported by artillery repelled 3 counterattacks launched by assault detachments of the AFU 43rd Mechanized Brigade and 25th Separate Airborne Troops Brigade near Timkovka and Sinkovka. Over the past 24 hours, the group's artillery crews engaged more than 150 AFU targets, including temporary deployment areas, manpower, and hardware clusters. In the course of counter-battery warfare, the Akatsia self-propelled howitzer crew led by Private Yuri Sorokin wiped out 1 mortar crew near Ivanovka. The AFU losses in Kupiansk direction amounted to up to 60 Ukrainian troops, 3 mortar crews, 2 pickup trucks, and 1 122mm TOS-1 Gvozdika self-propelled artillery system. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue the special military operation. In Kupiansk direction, units of the Zapad Group of Forces repelled 4 attacks launched by assault detachments of the AFU 30th, 44th, and 60th Mechanized Brigades near Sinkovka and Terny. The AFU losses amounted to up to 180 Ukrainian troops, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, 2 armored personnel carriers, and 5 motor vehicles. In Krasny Liman direction, units of the Center Group of Forces improved the situation along the front lines, as well as repelled 2 attacks launched by assault detachments of the AFU 60th and 63rd Mechanized Brigades near Torskoy and Yampilovka. The AFU losses amounted to up to 310 Ukrainian troops, 2 tanks, 8 armored fighting vehicles, 27 motor vehicles, and 1 Grad MLRS combat vehicle. In Donetsk direction, units of the Yug Group of Forces took more advantageous lines and positions, as well as inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of the AFU 53rd Mechanized Brigade and 129th Territorial Defense Brigade near Novgorodskoy and Novokalinovo. Moreover, 5 attacks launched by units of the AFU 24th Mechanized Brigade, 5th Assault Brigade, 79th, 80th Air Assault Brigades were repelled near Kleshchevka, Leninskoy, Shumy, Krasnogorovka, and Georgievka. The AFU losses amounted to 325 Ukrainian troops killed and wounded, 1 tank, 4 armored fighting vehicles, and 25 motor vehicles. In South Donetsk direction, units of the Vostok Group of Forces supported by aviation and artillery inflicted losses on AFU manpower and hardware near Privnoy, Vladimirovka, Vodyanoy, Urozhenoy, Prikistovka, and Staromayorskoy. The AFU losses amounted to up to 250 Ukrainian troops, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 3 motor vehicles, 1 U.S. made M777 artillery system, and 1 electronic warfare station. In Kherson direction, units of the Russian groups of forces supported by artillery inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of the AFU 65th Mechanized Brigade, 82nd Air Assault Brigade, and 23rd Ukrainian National Guard Brigade near Verbovoy, Rabatino, and Nikopol. The AFU losses amounted to up to 80 Ukrainian troops and 2 motor vehicles. Operational, tactical, and army aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, and missile troops and artillery of the Russian groups of forces wiped out 1 ammunition depot of the AFU 126th Territorial Defense Brigade, as well as engaged AFU manpower and hardware in 114 areas during the day. Air defense units shot down 63 Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles near Kremenets, Alexandrovka, Kleshchevka, Mezhevoy, Lyubomovka, Ducheny, Vasin, as well as intercepted 3 HIMARS-MLRS projectiles. In total, 570 airplanes and 265 helicopters, 12,292 unmanned aerial vehicles, 464 air defense missile systems, 14,994 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,219 combat vehicles equipped with MLRS, 8,021 field artillery guns and mortars, as well as 18,574 units of special military equipment have been destroyed during the special military operation. Armored group of paratroopers from Usherisk neutralizes AFU infantry in stronghold in Ardyamovsk direction. The paratroopers reconnaissance team using an unmanned aerial vehicle located an AFU platoon stronghold along with enemy personnel. An armored group on the 3rd generation BMP 3 infantry fighting vehicles were deployed to eliminate the target. The paratroopers suppressed enemy fortifications by firing 100mm guns, eliminating a great number of AFU personnel. The surviving nationalists fled, leaving weaponry and gear behind. FPV drone teams locate and wipe out enemy targets in South Donetsk direction. FPV drone teams of the 1st Army Corps 132nd Separate Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade perform reconnaissance, adjust artillery strikes, wipe out manpower concentration areas, firing points, and AFU light armored wheeled hardware. Su-25 ground attack aircraft deliver missile strike at AFU stronghold. Traversing the terrain at extremely low altitudes, the pilots launched S-13 unguided rockets while pitching. Interference from a large number of enemy electronic warfare stations did not prevent the ground attack aircraft from successfully completing the combat mission. Forward air-controlled confirmed target engagement. Southern MD servicemen capture 1 more AFU infantry group in Zaporozhye direction. Commanders of an AFU unit sent Corporal Stepan Pavlik and Private Dmitry Rudenko to an observation post in a forest belt near Rabatino. They forgot to mention that there were Russian troops. As a result, AFU servicemen were captured by Russian troops without a shot fired. In the front lines, it is like a one-way trip. You either die or lie wounded out there. Nobody comes back for the bodies. They just list them as missing in action, says Dmitry Rudenko. Corporal Stepan Pavlik from Lvov region was mobilized into the AFU and managed to take part in the hyped summer counter-offensive of the AFU. Now Pavlik is ready to go to prison, but he is not going to fight for the interests of the current government. He says that it is better to go to a psychiatric hospital in order to be discharged and not to take up arms again. Russian servicemen treat captured Ukrainian servicemen in full compliance with all norms of humanitarian law. They have the opportunity to contact their relatives, read fiction, wash themselves and their clothes. They are all provided with 3 hot meals a day. If necessary, all prisoners of war are provided with qualified medical assistance.